Alright, so as I'm trying to make as little assumptions about your previous experience as possible, let's try to identify and understand what Nest.js can do for us, why we would be learning Nest.js, and what problems does it solve. So let's start from the very beginning. So we can divide JavaScript development into two main categories. There is the front-end development and the backend development. Now the front-end development is JavaScript in the browser. It's using the document object model to manipulate websites, and you would typically also use HTML and CSS. Now it is fine to use JavaScript in the browser without any third-party frameworks, but they exist and they are very popular, which would suggest that there was a pressing problem that those frameworks solve. So you can choose between React, Vue, Angular or Svelte. They all have their fans and followers, and they all solve problems a little differently. Though we will focus on a backend development, which is the JavaScript in the operating system. We will be using Node.js. Basically, Node.js is a JavaScript implementation that would work in an operating system outside web browser, though it is based on the same JavaScript engine that the Chrome browser is using. Now, Node is often used to build HTTP servers, but you can say generally that it is used to write applications that can write in the operating systems or other application servers. Now, when you would be working with Node, I can say that you will typically interact with databases. There are plenty of backend frameworks that exist. Now, the same as with the front-end development, it's enough to just use Node.js to create HTTP or application servers, though people doing that realize that there are some problems that could be organized a little better or could be solved into some common set of solutions, and thus we have some backend frameworks. Example of such is an Express or Fastify frameworks, and then a little deeper is Nest.js. Now, I say a little deeper because Nest.js is actually using one of those internally. You can choose which one. By default, it is Express. Now let's see what is the actual reason for that. So we are going into the backend development. Now, as I've said, the only thing that you really need is Node.js. It's enough to create an HTTP server. This brings us into Express or Fastify. Now, though those are both excellent frameworks, and they are very popular HTTP Node frameworks, they are quite low level though and are not really opinionated. So this means you need to wire up everything on your own. This includes how to solve databases, queues, and everything else. Basically, this means that they only allow you to write an HTTP server, but all the other problems you will have to solve on your own by either using different libraries or writing your own. Now this brings us to Nest.js. So Nest.js has well-organized code. It has some ideas about how you should organize code. You should divide code into modules, and every specific file has its own place. Nest is very modern. It's using TypeScript by default, and it really uses decorators a lot. So it is also feature-rich, which means it is opinionated, at least a little. It provides a lot of tools that will help you create REST APIs like routing. It makes it easy to create GraphQL APIs, queues. It's well integrated with third-party ORMs, which stands for Object Relational Mappers. In this course, we are gonna use Type ORM, but also Nest solves a lot of other problems, like it makes authentication easy. It's really good for creating microservices, data validation, logging. You call it. Every feature that you think you will probably need in real-world, more complicated applications, Nest has it. So to answer the question, why would you use Nest.js? So if you know that you are creating projects that are more complicated than a weekend hobby project for yourself, then you would probably benefit from learning and using Nest.js. I personally can say that every company I've worked with, Nest.js really helped us organize the way we work with Node.js. And also Nest can speed up your work by providing some features out of the box, which in case of Express or Fastify, you would have to roll on your own or use some custom libraries. Alright, so I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, be sure to ask under this video.